Hello guys, and welcome to another map first impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at Crossroads. Now this map has the possible misfortune at being released in the mod hub on farmingsimulator.com just a few days prior to the map to the mod contest submissions being posted. So this map may get a little less visibility simply due to when it came out, because it looks like it came out on June 7th and the mod contest mods were released on the 9th. So you may not have seen this simply due to the timing of when this map came out. So this map, as I said, is up at the official farmingsimulator.com website under the mod hub. It is a beta map, so it is currently available for PC and Mac platform only. This map is not prepared for seasons, so that means that you will not get to see the coloration changes of the trees, nor will you experience bale rot if you use the seasons mod. So let's take a look at the map. So as we do with our videos, we will pick up our John Deere Gator. Let's take a look at the log. So the map loads up with an error-free log. And here we are. We start on our porch. Let's go ahead and step on down. Let's take a look at our house. It's a fairly basic house, but we really don't need much. See, we have our chickens already over here. Alrighty, so let's take a look at the map. So, as you can see, this map is laid out in very much a grid fashion with what appears to be 29 fields. We have our standard crop types, and of those 29 fields, we own fields 12, 15, and 16. So we do these videos on hard mode, so we start out with no crops in the silos, and we have a plethora of sell points. It looks like we have 5 main sell points that accept most of our crops, and then we have our spinnery. We have a diner that takes a few select crops, soybeans and potatoes. That is interesting. I'm really not sure what they're making out of soybeans at the diner. And then we have a biogas plant and a few other sell points. So we have a fairly long list of equipment that we start out with. It's all fairly new with low operating hours, so the maintenance will be low, and nothing is in the leased column. So let's go ahead and take out a loan. Alrighty. And as you can see, all 3 animals are on this map. We start with no animals of any type and nothing in the various feed areas. Our silo has a capacity of 500,000 liters. So let's explore the main farm. Appears that we have a pool and a little deck. Oh, and we've got some sunbathers here. Well, they look like they're made out of wood. They're a bit blocky. And this one appears she may have her arm stuck in a chair. But at any rate, we've got some sunbathers. We've got a pool full of water. But sadly, we've got too much to do here to relax in the backyard. So let's take a look at our starting equipment. So we start out with 3 tractors that range in horsepower from 125 to 185 horsepower. We have the front loader arms and a bucket and bale spike. We have our Twin Star Semi, the 5.90 small New Holland harvester with a very large grain head. And if we find these two, I'm interested to hook this grain head up and see if the pipe even extends out beyond this grain head. I don't think it will, which may make it rather interesting to unload this harvester. So we've got 3 tippers that range in capacity from 8,500 to 4,700 or 47,000. We've got a fairly nice size cultivator at 6 meters, a couple different seeders, the small sprayer, our butterfly mower, and our front mower, windrower, forage wagon. We have a round bale wagon and a square baler. Okay, something's not quite right there. We have our pickup truck and our water tank, and as I said, nothing is leased, at least not until now. There, we'll fix that problem. So let's take a look at the the shop. So let's reset this and figure out where it goes. So it looked like it popped in right here. That was wrong. So where are you? Oh, let's reset you. And you're still there. So the reset point is back at the shop, but it doesn't look like the shop is too terribly far from the main farm. So let's keep on looking. So here's our semi and our Flegel semi-trailer. Some more of our equipment here. So it looks like our main yard here is set up with our house and then all of these storage sheds on the outer perimeter. Gives us a nice area here to do whatever we want to with. Looks like we have seed and water fill points here. Or this may be fertilizer. And our silo is across the street. So we have our tip in. And our fill is over here. We have a fuel point, and this appears to be our sheep area, so I would suspect our wool pallets will appear there, and this must be where we buy our sheep. And there they are. They've got a decent size area to do their sheepery in. So we have our water trough. And we have our grass trough here. And then we've got a nice cattle gate. I don't know if cattle gates will keep our sheep in or out. But there really isn't much need to come in here unless we're going to be able to mow this area. Then we have our cow area with our liquid manure and solid manure. So throughout this map you'll see this these squares used to mark the zones. As you can see, there are 2 marked there. The feeding trials over here have 3 marks. So it's just an interesting use of zone markers. So we have our grass trough here. We've got our water tank over here. This must be a water fill point. It does indeed look like that is. Looks like we've got a pipe going down here into a pool of water. So that's an interesting use. Typically you see this as a milk fill point or a milk and fuel sell point. So I'm looking for the grass trough or the water trough for the cows. There appears to be one up here. So here's the water trough. And since this is a standard FarmSim 17 cow shed, this is where we would put our silage or our power food. And we should, I guess, buy our cows from over here. Again, if this is fairly standard. There you go. And there we have our cows. Now it appears our pigs are over here. We have our feed trough, liquid and solid manure. This appears to be where we would blow our straw in, or our straw bales, and our pig buy point. And we have our water trough. So there's our pig area. So down here I saw what is typically a hayloft, but it looks like it has a sell point icon. So let's take a look at this on the map. So this says manure storage. Okay. So evidently, oh my, evidently this is set up to store your manure. Or any excess manure you have, and I guess it comes out of this pipe here. So that's an interesting use of that particular building. So that is the main farm, guys. Wondering if these are BGA silos down here, or silage bunkers for our cattle. So let's run down here and take a look, and then while we're at it, we might as well just run down to the shop. So we'll get our exercise in today. So as you can see on the right there is traffic on this map. So overall this map looks fairly flat, if not completely flat. Okay, over here we go. So yes, indeed, it looks like these are earthen silage clamps. We have our chaff indicator, our chaff trigger, and then we have our chaff trigger here. And we have our third one right here. And then we have a large storage shed over here. So here's our harvester we were going to want to look at. It's conveniently parked here at a field to harvest. So let's go ahead and hook up our header and extend out our pipe, because I don't think this is going to work. So let's take a look at this. So I think you're going to be pretty hard up to empty this harvester with this particular header by pulling alongside. It looks like you're going to have to basically back in under this pipe, simply because this header is so wide. So you may be apt to want to sell that header and get a smaller one that's a bit more appropriate for that size harvester. So let's just jump down to the shop for the sake of time. So here we have a nice Deutz sitting up on top of the shed, or on top of the roof. We have our customize and sell point there. And there's our gator. There's our boy. All right. We shouldn't have any problem zooming out and driving around with a map that's this flat. So there is our harvester and our big shed, or 3 earthened silage bunkers and everything. So let's develop a plan of action here. Let's go down to the next intersection and make our way over to A&A's crop sales, and then just make our way around the map. So here we have a fuel point that also seems to take our eggs. Fairly basic, fairly basic town, and you can kind of see where it gets the name Crossroads. Fairly large, wide open fields that look like you could merge them if you wanted to, because these roads are just painted dirt. They're not placed roads. It appears that these 4 trees occur at the road intersections. Then it looks like we have some managed forestry areas on the outsides of the map. So here's one of our sell points. We'll just drive through that. I really like these silos. Very American feeling. Let's make our way up here to the animal buy point. And if we should happen to run past a field purchase icon, we'll go ahead and stop and check out field prices and missions. It appears we have a fairly large grass meadow over here to the right. It is unnumbered, so I am assuming that we would be able to mow that. Let's go ahead and take a look across the map. There you can faintly see our silos over there. Oh, and conveniently, a lot of our grass equipment is over here in this very area. So there's one of our tractors, our square baler, our round bale trailer. That still gets me, good one. And our mowers and our windrower. So I see our bull, so this is obviously the animal buy point. Now let's see if we can figure out where we load up our animals from. Oops. It appears that we load them up from here. So there you go. This is our livestock yard. And this is the particular building where you can come up here and sit down and just watch the cows come through the parade here and bid on your favorite livestock. Alright, let's keep on going. Looks like we have some static animals that have been placed around the back of the stockyard. So it looks like we've got a couple field icons coming up, so we'll go ahead and stop at those. So here we have field 1 is 2.94 hectares. Here we have field 2, which is 14.6 hectares, $1.1 million. almost $1.2 million. And field 2 is not the largest field on the map, but it is close. Looks like field 11 or 9 may be in contention for the largest. Possibly 9 because 11 has a chunk cut out of it. So again, we have these 4 trees that seem to delineate intersections. We have our infamous manure storage shed. We have another large, semi-large meadow here that we can mow. And there's our animal yards. So it appears the barn to sell our hay, straw, and grass is coming up here on the right. It is a green textured barn. I have to say the green is really growing on me. The first time I saw it I wasn't too keen on it. But I kind of like the weathered green-brown look there. Looks like field 27 is one massive field of sugar beets. That ought to bring in a very nice penny to harvest that for emission. So it looks like by the spool of yarn on the top of this building, this is our spinnery. And there's where we're going to sell our wool. So let's see what's coming up next. So we have Mia's farm. And then we'll slip over to Sally's bakery. And then we'll slip back down to Al's farm. There we have a big field of corn. If you like big square fields, this map is for you. That is for sure. Alright, so Mia's farm is looks like it's got a lot going on here. We can sell our eggs, we can sell our grain, and it appears to have a slurry sell point right there. Here we have one of our managed forested areas. I say managed because these trees are nicely planted in very straight rows. And we've got a shed off to the side to maybe store some of our forestry equipment. So we're going over here to check out this buy point, the Sally's Bakery. And then we'll run down to the southern, southwest corner of the map. So here's Sally's Bakery with the dump point right here to the side. So let's just drive between these fields. So you get down to the southern sell point over here. You can see it way off in the distance. As we're driving, we'll just kind of pan around a little bit. So I don't believe that this is a 4X map. I think this is a standard size map. But since it's so sparsely decorated with buildings and roads and such, it's really maximizing the amount of square footage, if you will, for fields. I would say that this map would be a pretty good candidate for very big equipment like the Big Bud stuff. Simply because the roads are wide and access to the fields is pretty much open access. There are no gates, there are no fences. And here we have another sell point. The road's nicely laid out for a big semi to come in here and make a turn. And let's see what we got coming up. We've got a sawmill, the biogas plant, and Shell's farm. And then that will conclude our tour of Crossroads. So let me know what you all think of this map. Here's another large meadow, another large grass field to be mowing. So let me know what you think of this map. Is this a map that you would play? Is this a map that that you didn't realize was out until this video due to its timing and the map contest and the horse maps being released with relative short time frame between this map and those? So here we have our sawmill, we have our lumber, our log sell point, and our wood chip sell point. Let's go ahead and check out field number 9 here. So field 9 is 20.62 hectares, $1.6 million. So I would challenge that field 9 is the biggest field on this map. There are lots of fields that are fairly close in size to this one, but I think this one takes the cake for being the biggest. So if anything, I would say this map is lacking just a bit of the deco. I'd like to see maybe a bit more decoration on the map. I mean, the town there is like 6 houses and is like 2 blocks long. But you know, the goal I think on this map was to lay down as many big square fields as possible and still have a functioning map with respect to having it be a town and have some sell points. And this map takes that. It definitely has more than 1 or 2 sell points, which is a good thing. Gives the player variety. So here we have a recessed Silo King. So hopefully we can tip into this. If not, you can edit the XML to allow that. And then we have our silage bunkers here and our digestate tank. So I would say that one of the few things that this map is really lacking would be spots for placeables to be put. Spots for the user to place their own buildings, their own industries, possibly their own vehicle storage. So here we have a buy point with some storage sheds, again by a managed tree area. And it looks like Shell's farm also happens to have a pool. Although they don't appear to be having a pool party today. Looks like everyone's away working. So guys, that is Crossroads. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please click the like button. If you have not already... Oh, we also have a manure sell point here down at Shell's farm. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing. We do map videos every Tuesdays and Thursday. We also happen to have a fairly large playlist of maps submitted to the map contest, the best map, and the horse contest. You may be interested in checking out. And then we do Let's Play series every Monday, Wednesday, Friday on Serenity Valley currently. We will be looking for another map to replace that very, very soon. And we do another play series on Tuesdays and Thursdays over at Cherry Hills. At least we're over at Cherry Hills for now. We will substitute that at some point for a different map. So, I want to thank you guys for watching again. And until next time, happy farming.